in out of the blue corner. Hello, welcome to my channel Hammonds Hobbies. My name's Glenn, and today I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the criticism, I suppose, of my pre-orders on my website. Now, I put pre-orders up for Flagship I think a couple of weeks ago now, and obviously we've just put the Chrome and the Chrome hobby boxes for the end of December due to popular demand. A lot of people were messaging me asking me when am I going to put my pre-orders up, how much will they be, and I've done that. I would think that I've conducted myself pretty well, and I think I've priced them fairly. But then obviously, like a lot of people have their view, their take on it. Some people don't really understand what's going on behind the scenes. But when I first came into this hobby, I noticed that there was a lot of secrecy. When you used to say to people, how'd you get an account? Or how comes you've got a whole case of that? Where did you get it from? How much did you pay for it? People were very hush-hush, very quiet, very secretive. So I always said, look, I'm going to blow the lid off that. When I come into this hobby, I'm going to be open, honest, transparent, clear. I've made mistakes along the way. I've learned from some of my mistakes. I've talked about them on videos in the past, some of the mistakes that I have made. But yeah, today I just wanted to address some of maybe the queries that some people have, and hopefully, I don't know, you may hear my version and you might think, yeah, that makes sense actually, or you may think, I don't trust this guy, I don't want to go with him, whatever. They're the sort of comments I get from people in Facebook groups and stuff, and that's fine. I've never tried to shut people up or tell them they can't say certain things. If that's your opinion of me, then that's your opinion of me. I'm probably never ever going to be able to change that. If that's what you think of me. So let's have a little look. Who have we got in so far with us? We've got Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Thank you for your order, mate. I'm posting it out today, actually. Hope you are well. Why is there so much secrecy within the hobby? I don't know. I think if I'm being honest, what am I going to say? Why? Because there's money to be had, isn't there? When there's anything where someone's making money and you've got 10 people looking at that one person saying, how are you making that money? Then that person is incentivized to keep it quiet, keep it to himself, or lie about it or tiptoe. So there's an incentive there to keep it hush hush. But I know that when I came into this hobby, like I say, I couldn't understand why I couldn't get one box of Chrome for love nor money. But then there were people opening up 5 cases of it, and I just couldn't get my head around it. I was like, what is going on here? What is happening? And I've always said, when I work my way through this hobby, I'm going to be honest, transparent, and inform people of what I do and how I do it and why I do it. So if you guys have any questions for me, drop them in the comment section. Obviously it's a live video, so I'll be able to answer them for you live. Make sure you smash up the like button so this video goes out to as many people as possible. We've got 1 like at the minute, but 5 people watching. So whilst we're waiting for some people to jump in, let's talk a little bit about some of the mistakes that I've personally made in the past. So someone posted something on one of the Facebook groups that I'm no longer a member of. There's 2 main Formula One collectible card groups in the UK, especially, and one has like 5,000 members, the other one has 4,000 members. I believe off the top of my head, the one with 5,000 members I got booted from that because I was posting quite regularly. Like I was posting things up for sale, but also I was posting like, "Hey guys, what do you think of the Grand Prix this weekend?" And I was posting memes, pictures, you know, because I've been waiting like 20 years to talk to people about F1, and now all of a sudden there's a big audience and a big demand for F1. So you know, I was really excited. I'm like really happy to talk about it. But they said that that group is only for buying, selling, trading. It wasn't for, you know, those sort of topics, which I did. I don't know. I think that's a bit short-minded, but anyway, that's my opinion. So then I went into obviously the other group, which was 4,000 members, and I was heavily involved in that one. I was posting quite regularly. I didn't think I had any issues with anybody. And then I did, just to say thank you to that group, I got F1 Dynasty and off tops direct through my limited company. And the first thing I did was I put it up for like a sort of a RAS or box break. And I tried to box break it like at basically what I was paying for the whole case. And yeah, I thought it went quite well. Then I spoke to someone who is he showed me, and I won't say his name because that wouldn't be very fair, but he was heavily in the F1 Dynasty community. Like he buys and sells a lot. And he said to me, Glenn, if I was you, if you're going to sell these at any point, put it up for sale today for a 24-hour auction. Now, obviously, I'd done a live stream for I think for an hour or 2 hours, and I think that went on till about 12, half 12 at night. And then I spoke to this guy over the phone, and then he showed me all his collection, and he showed me like the peaks and troughs of like the values of them. And he was saying like, you know, you'll always get the most money for it. Like literally the day of release. So if sell this box. So at this point it was like 1 a.m, and normally when I list stuff on eBay, because it saves all my default settings, normally I can list stuff really quick. So I've listed this F1 Dynasty card, and I listed it wrong because all my default settings got reset. So when I listed the card, it was for collection only from my house. So obviously it went for bidding. People in America and Philippines and Canada, they couldn't bid on it because you had to collect it from my house. The guy who won it, it actually popped up with an error message his end. It said, the person selling this item is not selling it in your country. Do you wish to continue, or be careful if you continue, or something like that? And he still bidded on it because he's seen my face, he knows I'm on YouTube. So I think he had a certain trust level there. So he bidded on it, and then I was really happy with how much it went for. I think to this day, it's still one of the highest selling cards. So the guy who gave me the advice at the beginning, he was spot on. Yeah, he was bang on the money. A lot of people then criticised me because how it looked was that I cancelled the sale on my eBay. I cancelled the sale. I reached out to the guy and I said, hey, I've just realised I've sold this the wrong way. I've done it collection only from my house, which means you'd have to fly to the UK, collect it from my house, which obviously is unacceptable. Obviously, I'm happy to sell it to you, but I'm going to have to cancel it through, because otherwise it would be covered under the eBay's guarantee, money back guarantee. Obviously, it's a big item to post. I have to hope, fingers crossed, that when I posted it, he says that item not received or whatever. Then eBay would say, well, why did you post it to him in America when it was a collection from home item? Then I wouldn't be covered. So then I would lose $3,000 and the card. So I cancelled the auction, and I messaged him and said, look, I'm still happy to sell it to you, but can we do it through us? Anyway, because obviously time zone, he was asleep. Then by the time he woke up and he read the message, and then I fell asleep because I was really ill at the time. I think I had a sore throat actually. I had a midday nap. He then messaged me. Then I didn't reply to him obviously straight away. I think I was asleep for about an hour or so. So he put in the group, "Hi guys," and this is the way he worded it. "I think Glenn is a bit concerned about sending me the card abroad." So he hadn't quite understood what I was implying when I messaged him. And he said, "Glenn, can I please get some vouchers?" And then that was it. Everyone just jumped in on it, and they were like, "Glenn's cancelled the sale. It's because he was hoping for a lot more money for it. He's a scammer. He's a this, that." And then it just brought out like all these people, like probably about 10 people that I hadn't really had any dealings with. I've never bought or sold off them really. A couple of them I had, and they've never bought off me. So they've never had any. There was one guy who had one issue with me from my eBay, and I'd spoken to him several times, but he's still carrying it on to this day. So fair, whatever, fair play to him. But the rest, they had no. Basis. They were just jumping on a bandwagon, I suppose. So anyway, eventually I woke up, read all these nasty comments, and then I messaged the guy direct. "Hey mate, before I respond to all these people and that, I thought I'd talk to you first. I'm happy to sell you the card, but look, I listed the card wrong. You'd have to collect it from my house to honour the money back guarantee scheme, which obviously you're not going to do because the flights would probably come to more than that. So are you happy if I sell it to you direct?" And he was like, yeah, that's fine, Glenn. I completely understand. So me and him, we had an understanding. Sent him the card. I was on the phone to him for about an hour or so. Really lovely guy, telling me all about. He watches my content, and he his daughter was ill. So yeah, we had a really lovely conversation. Top guy, couldn't ask for any better. Sold him the card, gave him a slight discount on the, because then he wouldn't have to pay the eBay fees. So happy days. Everyone's a winner. Drama over. But it didn't end there. It was like the admins of that Facebook group was like, yeah, Glenn's honoured the agreement. He's honoured the sale. So as far as we're concerned, that's the matter over. But these 10 people kept going on, and the admins were ringing me up, and they were saying, "Look, Glenn," and they were telling me what all these people were saying. They were saying, "Look, this person's saying this person's saying that." And I said to him, I was just, I said, "Look, you do whatever you've got to do." And they said, "Yeah, but Glenn, they're asking for us to kick you out the group." And I said, "Well, you're listening to the loudest 10 people. It's up to you, And in the end, I think they put a thing out saying, "Should we kick Glenn from the group because of this council sat or whatever?" And then a load of people commented saying, "Yeah, I think you should. He's a scumbag. He's this, he's that." So I was kicked from that group. So I was happy. I didn't sod them, Glenn. Do you know what? When I first started doing YouTube, I knew I was going to receive some hate or trolls or criticism or something like that. Obviously, I'm only at, just under 1,000 subscribers, so I'm still fairly. I am very small. If you look at some of the other card collector guys, they've got 30, 40, 50,000. So like, I'm like 1/50th of them. So I still consider myself a new up and coming, a startup YouTuber. But I knew obviously I'd receive hate, comments, just. So I've always just known that going into it. So I've tried to, I don't know, avoid it or uphold myself above it, try not to rise to it, if you know what I mean. So when things like that happen, I just said, yeah, okay. And loads of people said, "Glenn, you should stick up for yourself. You should say this, you should say that." And I said, no, I ain't going to do that. The people that like me, and the people that don't, I can't really do anything about them, for whatever reason. I have my own personal opinions on why they don't like me or don't like what I'm doing. And a lot of it, unfortunately, boils down to, I think, money. But it's a shame because, you know, when you're in a hobby or when you're into something and there's only a small knit community of people that are doing it, and you're willing to write off like three or four of them people straight off the bat for very, very little reason, it's sort of like you're shooting yourself in the foot at some way, shape, or form. But then they'll see it as like, well, I don't want him in my life, and I don't care about his content, and I don't care about what he's buying or selling, which is fine. But then they pipe up really, really quickly when somebody does mention me, and they will start getting involved. So it's a shame. It is a shame, but there you go. I'm sort of glad that they did. I'm really happy with how it's all panned out because if they hadn't kicked me from that Facebook group, I would still be in there today. I now obviously have created my own Facebook group, which we're almost at 600 followers now on F1 Sports Card. So well done to you guys for that. Obviously, the subscribers and views on my YouTube channel have gone up. My TikTok account is almost at 600 followers. My YouTube's almost at 1,000. And once I hit these certain milestones, it seems like it's like snowballing. I remember being on 400 subscribers for like almost a whole year. A whole year it took me to go from 400 to 500. Took a year. But now within the last, I don't know, like 6 months, I've gone from 500 to 940 really quickly. So I would imagine that once I hit 1,000 subscribers, we'd probably hit 2,000 subscribers really quickly. So that'd be awesome, and I'm really looking forward to that. So thank you to all of you guys that are watching and commenting. We have got Ewan says hello. Yeah, I sold a WWE Auto for 2K as soon as it came out. Aston said, sod them, Glenn. Inevitable on the internet. Don't feed trolls. You always will because of jealousy and greed. Keep doing what you're doing. Without you, I couldn't start Flagship or know what I was doing to start off with. Thank you for that, Aston. I really appreciate that. Off topic, but any idea of when 2022 Topps Chrome F1 cards go on sale? Yes. They're meant to be released on December the 28th. So you got a month. But I've got a feeling that's going to get pushed back to probably mid-January. Caleb says, keep up the good work. Thank you for that. IRS, Ian. That's your name, Ian. I asked you the other day what your name was, and you said, oh, I think it's Ian, but it's not. It's IRS. I know that. Aaron says December. Yeah, so, December the 28th is when the box chrome. That's actually what I wanted to talk about in this video, actually. Now that we've got sort of 10 people in, I've had in that same Facebook group, and this is why I told that little story at the beginning while we was waiting. Somebody has, I don't know who the person was, and I've got no hard feelings towards them. Somebody has gone back into one of them groups that I've been banned from and posted like, oh, Hammonds Hobbies are putting Chrome up for pre-order. What does everyone think? And it was the same sort of 10, 12 people that were the ones that were like, kick him off the group, or we're going to leave. That's what they were saying to the admins. They were saying, because the admins were telling me, I'm actually really good friends with the admins, so I hear a lot about what's going on. So they were saying like, oh, if Glenn doesn't get kicked from the group by tomorrow, then I'm going to leave the group. Like, ooh. So anyway, someone's posted a thing saying Hammond's Hobbies are doing these pre-orders, and it started off saying, don't trust Glenn, he's a scammer, you don't get what you pay for, and all of this, all these comments, which is fine. And I would say 99% of them comments are complete lies. There have been there have been issues that I've come up with, and I've always said to this day, everyone has received exactly what they expected from me or a full refund. And I can't say any fairer than that. I don't know. I don't know any business in the whole world that hasn't at some point had to do one refund or one return or had one customer that didn't receive their item. You know, I can't imagine it happening in today's world. But there you go. If that's what it takes for you to be deemed a scammer or a scam company, then there's a lot of them. Yeah, I buy stuff from Amazon and they don't deliver it properly. So is Amazon a scam company or Apple? Are they a scam? I don't know. But there you go. So they've posted these comments, and the only things that really got to me was people were commenting saying, "Don't buy them from Glenn anyway, because there's all these other websites that are doing it a lot cheaper." So to give you an example, I believe Flagship was on a website at one point for pre-order for $130. And I think it might have even gone down since then. It might be $125. Now, obviously, if you do the conversion from dollars into pounds, that works out to be about, let's say, £100 to £110. The pound to the dollars really dropped the last couple of months. So that's, if you look at it face on value, you'd say, well, Glenn's charging 20, 30 quid more. But my point is, this is my point I want to make to you guys that are watching my content that maybe do purchase from my store or maybe are looking to purchase from my store. These are some of the things that you have to factor in. Tops is an American company. Tops make a lot of product in America. Not all, but a lot. So they make the product and they sell the product in America. They then sell it to a distributor, which normally is like GTS and places like that. Them distributors then sell it to their network of box breakers, resellers, places like blowoutcards.com and Steel Sky and all that sort of stuff. And obviously there's very little, I don't know what you call it, friction costs or delivery costs in that. Really, all you've got is the delivery cost from the distributor to that company, which in America I'm sure is like what, $10. So that company that received that product, if they're buying it, say they're buying a whole case, because with these distributors you can't buy boxes, you have to buy cases. So in a case you have 12 boxes. So if they buy a case for say $1,500, or let's say $1,200, sorry, there's 12 boxes in that case, then they can afford to put the pre-orders up for $100 per box if they wanted to. And then obviously you have to say, well, you know, they've got to pay a fee, you know, PayPal charge 3%, a lot of card payment providers charge 2 or 3%, eBay charges 15%. So you have to add a little bit of cost on to cover those costs. Otherwise, you're just selling at a loss. Now, that's all well and good. Like, I think that's great. That's a great model, you know, like, and people get to pre-order their product early. Then them box breakers and those, what they tend to do is they say, right, look, we have 100 pre-ordered boxes, plus we want a case or two for ourselves. So we want to buy 12 cases. Now, that's quite a large order. Obviously, some of these, especially like with American football, baseball, basketball, they're buying 30, 40 cases at a time. Now, you got to think that means they're paying that distributor like 100 grand at a time. Now, if you've got someone who month in, month out is spending 100 grand with you, when a new set comes out, are you going to give them a discount? Of course you are. You would rather sell it to one person with one lot of fees than sell it to 100 different people. So obviously they're going to then go to them and say, right, okay, well, you know, you're VAT registered, or how sales tax in America, you can claim the sales tax back. So they might be able to get the boxes for $80 a box. So when they're selling them for $130, they're making about $50. Now, I'm just using hypothetical numbers. Don't hold these against me. But now let's look at that for someone in the UK. There is not a distributor in the UK. The product is not made in the UK. And the only Tops sales portal through the UK is the Tops website, tops.co.uk. Tops then they have to buy the product from America Tops. They don't buy from the distributor GTS and stuff like that. So they buy from American Tops. Now they might say, right, okay, well, we want 12 cases because the demand in the UK isn't as high. So that means this GTS, this global shipping distributor, they're buying 50 cases, and then you've got this, you've got Tops Europe, even though they're the same brand as you and they're the same company, they're only buying like 6 cases. Now you can imagine the type of conversations that they're going to have. They're going to say, right, okay, well, because you're only buying 6 cases, we're going to sell them to you at this rate. Now, Tops obviously then get hold of them. They want to make a bit of money. And then they obviously approach a very small knit of people within the UK. I'm not just talking about F1. I'm talking about football, basketball, baseball, and all of that sort of stuff, yeah? They're then going to these sport card companies and saying, do you want to buy a case of this off us? Now, in that process of coming from America to the UK, there was a delivery charge in that. Yeah, so that has been shipped by UPS, FedEx, DHL, whoever. So they've paid that cost. Then they have to pay custom charges, or VAT, as we call it in the UK, which is 20%. They're then selling it to resellers, and then that reseller then has to pay transaction costs of selling it to customers and stuff like that. Now, this is a really long-winded way of me saying that we get the product more expensive than they do in America. Shock, as is everything in the UK. So when Tops obviously contact me and they say, hi, Glenn, there's a new set coming out next month. I'm a registered limited company, so any transactions that happen within my business, if you hit a certain threshold, you have to be VAT registered. So then you have to add on 20%. Now, I haven't hit that figure yet. It's something like 85,000 or something, but I haven't hit that figure yet, so I don't need to become VAT registered. So that can keep my costs down a bit, yeah? So all my prices are based on just me receiving the product and then like the fee it costs me to sell it, which is only like 3 or 4%. So Tops approach me and they say, hi, Glenn, we've got cases of flagship for 1,000, I think it was like, I don't know, 1,500 and something plus VAT. So if you add that all together, like the VAT 20%, it came to like 1,800 a case. If you do 1,800 divided by 12, you'll see very quickly that it works out to be saying, now this is just off the top of my head, it works out to be something like 154 something. Now, that means that I'm selling my boxes on my website for £159.99. So that means I'm making £6. But that's if I sell the product with zero fees. My website charges, I think, 2.5% plus 50p or 20p or something. So if you deduct that off, it works out that I'm actually losing a couple of pounds per box that I sell. So that isn't a very good business model. But what Tops will say is, well, you take the good with the bad. Like, we've got this product, this flagship coming. No, you're not going to make much money on it. But then we've got F1 Dynasty coming out in, say, 6 months' time. So, if we sell you some of them, then they're hobby shop exclusives. So they won't be sold on Tops website. They'll only be sold to the shops. And this is the game that you're now in. You're now like, okay, I'll take a loss on those boxes, but then I'm hoping later on I get those. And that is that is how it is. And Fanatics have come out because Fanatics have now bought Tops, the whole company. There are talks they might buy Panini as well, and they've said that they might look to change this model to get rid of the distributors and just sell through, Tops Direct. You have to go to Tops Direct. A bit like Pokemon in the UK. Pokemon only has one distributor that sell in the UK. I believe in America they have like 6 or 7. But so that gives you one main place to go for Pokemon products in the UK. But as far as I'm aware, for hobby boxes of sport cards, there are no distributors. So you basically, your options are to buy from America or wait till they get released on the Topps website. On the Topps website, they sell out like instantly. As you guys may know from previous box releases, they sell out within 2 seconds because everyone using bots and stuff like that. So that doesn't give a very good customer experience, but Fanatics are saying they're looking to change that. I personally would like to see that. I would like it if it was more direct to the customer. Personally, and that's not saying I want to lose my account with Topps, but what I'm saying is that it would be better if the customers could get their hands on, if normal customers can get their hands on more product, inevitably I'll be able to get my hands on more product at whatever. So to use like a prime example, the other day I saw on a Facebook group, someone was putting, why are you buying from this guy who's doing it on the side as a side hobby or a side hustle, and why not just use one of the American distributors? Now, if the whole world just went to one place to buy product, that company is going to have a 100% monopoly and say on those products. So if they turn around and go, right, F1 Chrome 2024, oh, that's really popular this year because Max and Lewis are really going for it. Right, we're going to jack the price up to £400 a box. People will be like, hang on a minute, the last few boxes have only been 150. Why is that? And they say, well, because we can. What are you going to do about it? So ideally, what you want for a healthy market is you want competition. So if I release them for £150, then matey next door needs to release them for £150, and then somebody else might sell it for £175, and they might not do as well. So then they'll have to drop their prices. So then you have this competition going. That's what you want. So I think people saying, why don't you just buy from one of the main 3 distributors in America? I think that's a bit short-sighted. That's one point. Secondly, say like Chrome Lights. This is an example. I've put mine up for £199 on my website, yeah? Which I think is a decent price. If you look at Chrome Lights from last year, they're more than that now. So this is the new set that's coming out for this year. So all new images, all new cards, drivers, teams, whatever. And I'm selling them cheaper than what they were that they're still selling for today on eBay. So anyway, so that's but let's say you want to buy that same box from America. In America, say like on blowout.com, Steel Sky Collectibles or whatever they're called, you've got Andrew and Dave or something. All of them sort of places, they're doing boxes of Chrome Light. And again, this is me talking really open and transparent. I'm trying to be honest with you guys. They're selling them for $125. Now that works out a lot cheaper, but by the time you add on delivery to the UK, because I did this the other day myself, they tried to charge you $52. So now you're at, I think it's $177. Then if your package gets stopped by customs, you have to pay 20% sales tax on that in the UK. 20% added on to 177 works out to be something like $212. You convert that into pounds and that works out about £195 or something like that. So if you see what I mean, like all my products, I think, are priced really fairly, like really competitively. You got to think, I'm a new startup business within the UK. There's not a huge demand for this product in the UK. And I'm trying to compete with the blowoutcards.com and the Andrew and Dave's and that spend probably well in excess of £1 million a year buying boxes and stuff. And I'm trying to compete with that. And I'm buying it out of my own pocket. I've not taken out any loans. I'm not in any debt. You know, like I'm doing this all off my own back, like month in, month out. And, you know, I, I just don't. A lot of these people were saying, like, well, actually, you can just buy the boxes from America and get them sent to your Ship My Cards account. So this is another revenue that you could go down rather than getting it delivered from these big companies to the UK. You could send it to Ship My Cards, which is a PO box service. So you open up an account with them. I've talked about it many a times. I love their brand, love their company. You know, I speak to Brian regularly through Facebook, who's the CEO. You can buy boxes from anywhere in America and get them sent to Ship My Cards. Then you can forward it to yourself in the UK and you can put the declared value of it to $1. So when it enters the UK Customs Force, they don't charge you any customs charges, VAT on top. So great, you don't pay nothing on top. But this is the little snag with that. I bought a box of cards and got it delivered to Ship My Cards before from a shop in Vegas, and they charged me $40. Now this was quite a large box. Then they charge £5 for a handling fee. Then they charge when you then request to deliver it to your company, because you have to pay someone to quote it up, and they charge a couple of dollars for that. Then whatever company it is that they've selected, which is usually FedEx, then FedEx charge their fees on top. And then what happens is you're minus. So you might be minus $40. It'll come up saying you are now minus in your Ship My Cards account. You then have to use PayPal to top it up. So you top it back up to zero, then they ship the cards out to you. But by the time you've paid those fees, and $40 is an exaggeration because I bought quite a large box, but some of even just the little boxes, they charge about $10. So if you add up all of those costs, it comes to more than the $52 it would be to get it shipped directly from the company. So either way, you're spending £200. The only way I can see that you would get it any cheaper, realistically, is if you're buying several boxes. Like I'm talking like 4 and above. If you were buying 4 and above boxes, then the delivery costs and the if you can get away with the charges with Ship My Cards and stuff like that, then yes, you might make a saving of about $30 per box. But that's a lot of legwork, aggro. And one of the comments was something like, yeah, I just wait for it to all build up, which is a really valid point. You can do that with Ship My Cards. Buy a box, get it delivered to your Ship My Cards account, buy some other stuff, wait for it to build up, give it a month, 2 months, and then request it all. And then at some point, open it up. But I'm not offering that service. I'm offering, it's in the UK, it's in my hand, the VAT and tax has been paid on it, the delivery's been paid on it, and it's ready day one. So that means that my customers that buy the boxes from me, the people that are all pre-ordering their boxes from me, obviously depending on the day I receive them, because Royal Mail are on strike and stuff like that at the moment, but depending on the day I receive them, my customers should receive it the day after. So if I receive it a day early, they're going to receive it dead on. If I receive it the day of release, they're going to receive it the next day after. On top of that, you have to allow a company in the UK to be able to do that. Like, you go to any other company and say, right, can you set up a business model where you buy these boxes and you compete with the American prices even though there's no VAT and delivery charges added on top. We want you to compete with their. We want you to lose about 100 quid a box, and we want you to do that for 5 or 6 sets a year for the next 5 years. What are they going to say? They're going to go, why would we do that? And I've noticed that this is an issue that has arisen. There's a couple of other websites that are selling, and this isn't just F1. I'm talking like football, cricket, rugby, basketball, baseball, and all that sort of stuff. They get heavily criticised. Oh, why are you charging this much when it's this much in America? Go and live in America. Go and fly over to America, buy them at that price, then bring them back with you. But by the time you add all those costs up, it's still going to work out more. And it's this really sort of like short, narrow-mindedness that people don't see. They don't see like, oh, yes, a company is setting up and they're charging really fair prices in the UK on a regular basis. Great. That means I'm going to be able to get my product. And if that company gets bigger and bigger and bigger, along with a couple of others as well, then I'm going to have 2 or 3 places to go. I can shop about. I could buy 2 boxes from him, 2 boxes from him. Great. Happy day. But they don't see it like that. They just like, no, stop this guy. Go to the American website. So I don't know. I find it really difficult to get my head round, and I don't know how else to explain it. That was my best shot at explaining my prices and also why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm looking at this long term. I want to build the best F1 card website in the world, and for some of these American brands, the way that they see F1 and the way I see F1 may be completely different. You got to think, these companies are probably thinking, oh God, there's another set of F1 coming out. We just dumped a load of the 2021 stuff. But if we say no to Topps for buying this, then they won't give us the new baseball Sapphire set. Right, okay, get that F1 stuff, sell it as cheap as possible out the door, get rid of it, and then we can say to Topps, yeah, we want the new Sapphire baseball or basketball set or whatever. And that is the game that everyone's playing. Whereas I see F1 is I'd be happy buying a case of F1 Chrome and sitting on it. I'd be happy to just put it on my website and just leave it there. Like I'd love, if Topps sold out day one of F1 Chrome, and then my website is the only website in the UK that still has 3 or 4 boxes left of it. But God forbid I charge £10 more, or maybe I'm £10 under. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, but then that means in a year's time, someone could buy a box and open it up. At the minute, it's like you have to buy one day one. Otherwise, it's eBay. And eBay is anyone's guess. If you look at all the last previous years, what happens is Topps sell out, and then they're on eBay for 3 to 4x of what they were on the Topps website. Because obviously, and I sort of understand that as well. Like, if you're buying something on the Topps website for 150 quid, then you put it on eBay. eBay charge 15%. So you've got to add on top another 20 to 30 pound. So now you're at 180. That's just to break even. You want to make some profit. So now you need to sell the box at 220 to make £40 profit. Otherwise, what was the point doing it all? You're taking a huge risk. And you see these one-man band people, they're buying like 1 or 2 boxes at a time. But if you get like 100 of them doing that, that's obviously 200 or 300 boxes or whatever gone. But they're like buying 1 or 2 boxes, paying, and then they're sitting on them, and they're like, they have to sell them at a profit. Otherwise, they're like, oh shit, I'm going to take a loss on this, So I'm not trying to play that game. I'm not trying to. I reached out to Topps when I when I got in contact with Topps when Turbo Attacks 2020 came out. I said, look, I love this product. I love F1. I want to be involved in this. I want to create something. What can we do? And I got shot down, shot down, shot down. It took me a year just to have a conversation with someone. And I say, look, what do I need to do? And they said, we need to see this in place. And I did all those things. I did them. You know, so when people were saying like, why are Tops working with this one man band guy? Because it's taken me 2 years and I've worked really, really hard. Like, and it's been really stressful. Like F1 Dynasty was that was the first product I got from Tops. That was the most stressful box openings I've ever had. One, because of the values, but two, because it was just so much pressure and so much hard work. Like people don't realize. And on top of that, like you've got to keep this squeaky clean image. And if I look at all the Facebook sales that I've done, and now obviously through my own website and through eBay, God, I must have sold, I mean, just this weekend alone, I've sold like 300 F1 cards for that Black Friday sale we did on my website. Like, and these people in this Facebook group are still talking about the one box that I had to refund a guy 2.5 years ago or whenever it was. I think it was a year and a half ago. I can't remember when it was, but they're talking about that one transaction. That's it, one transaction, a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I said, oh, I'm really sorry. I'm no longer getting the boxes. I'm going to give you a full refund. And that's because I was trying to buy them from a third party person. So that person was trying to make money on what he bought them for. Then I was trying to make money on what I was going to buy them for. And then I got let down at the last minute. That's why obviously now I only deal with Tops. And the figures that Tops give me, I don't put 100% of that on my, now. Obviously my website's only been going for about 5 weeks now, but I've learned from this sort of going full circle into what I was talking about at the beginning. The mistakes that I've made, and you're only talking about one or two, like literally one or two, and the people that no one's ever been conned by me, no one's ever lost money, no one's ever had to sue me, no one's ever had to take me to court, nothing like that. We're talking about like I've had to message people, say, look, I'm really sorry, I'll have to give you a full refund because this item's no longer in stock. That's it. All these mistakes or things that I've learnt over the 2 and a bit years of doing this has led me to this point now where I can quite efficiently sell stuff, and I know how to sell it and what I can and can't sell and how I should market it, you know, sort of like I say, with Tops contact me and they say, and I've been told by other people that buy direct from Tops, Glenn, when you get an email from Tops saying this is what you're going to get on this date, that's set in stone. And I said, yeah, I know, but I've been let down in the past. So I'm only going to put half of them up for pre-order. And then the other half, obviously, I'm going to open a few boxes myself for YouTube channel. And also I want to open some up and put singles on my website now. Then the rest, I'll see. Well, whatever. I might take a loss on them or I might sell them at a profit. I don't know. But that way I know that the boxes that I have coming to me, I don't have to let anyone down, because Tops would really, really have to screw me over. And if they did, then I'd have to come out and do a video saying Tops will screw me over. But I don't think they're going to do that. But, you know, if Tops said to me, Glenn, you're going to receive 3 cases of Chrome, and then on the day I only receive 1 case, then I'd be like, what are you doing to me? Like, I've promised all these people. So that is why I've only put half of them up for sale. So it's sort of like the mistakes I've learned in the past. I've learned from it, and it's made me a better seller today. But none of these people look at that. They don't see any of that. They don't see the hard work. They don't see the preparation. They don't see what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to achieve, where I'm trying to take this. Like, I've had people messaging me. I've had companies message me saying, Glenn, we really your website is quite unique. We've not seen a hobby website like yours before. And I had this one company reach out and say to me, "Could you do the same but with football cards?" And I said, "I'm not interested." And they said, "Oh, but the football market is more buoyant in the UK. There's more profit to be made." And I said, "Yeah, but I'm not. I don't know nothing about football. Like, and yeah, I could probably do it without knowing, because most collectors like yourselves watching this video, you know more than probably the person selling it. But I wouldn't know a good card from a bad card, to a short print, to a variation, I wouldn't know all of that. And I could probably teach myself, but I'm just not interested. Like, not struggling, but do you know what I mean? It's hard to keep up with this one sport. Like, people message me all the time saying, "Glenn, I don't understand. When's Chrome coming out?" And I'm like, yeah, it is complicated, and it's a lot to, get your head round. Like, I have F1 cards going around in my head 24/7. I wake up at 3 in the morning and check my phone and look to see, like, eBay listings that are ending, and orders on my website, and I get comments, messages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. So, it's just on my brain 24/7. So if anyone asked me a question right now about an F1 sport card, I probably know the answer. Like, I just have it all there. If I then started filling my head up with, "Oh yeah, this year's Champions League final set," and "Oh yeah, and there's Prism World Cup," and it would just, I wouldn't know what I was doing. So I'm just going to stick to F1. I love F1. I know everything about F1. Well, not everything, but I know a lot about F1. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, and that's where I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm gonna keep doing what I do, what I'm good at, and I hope you guys are gonna join me for that ride. And I hope you enjoy the service that you're receiving from me. I need to set up. I've had a few people message me saying, "Hi Glenn, I want to leave you like a good review, or where can I leave like a nice comment?" And I thought, oh yeah, I haven't even got anything like that set up on my website. Like, I need like somewhere where people can go and put great service, quick delivery, that have, because then that the next people that come along that may have never have heard of me, they might not have seen any of my content, they can read that and go, "Oh, okay, I trust these." So I need to get that set up. I need to look into that, maybe like Trustpilot or something like that. Hopefully you guys will give me a good review anyway. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Let's have a little look here. Aston Davis said, "Only one I've seen is King of Hoops for 139.99. Still there. Transaction went through. Don't trust it." I have heard of King of Hoops before, so I would imagine they've got a good reputation. But is that a UK website, Aston, or is that an American website? Is that £139 or dollars? I'd be interested to hear that. Kevin said, "No Cyber Monday deals on the website." No, I felt really bad. Keep plastering the Black Friday deal, like the 25% off, and I thought that was a bargain. The 25. I had a guy today who bought, like, sorry, yesterday, but I was packaging his deal today. He must have bought 70 cards, like, and it come to like 50 quid or something, because a lot of the cards were like 80p, 90p by the time the discount got applied. So I've had to put them all in top loaders, then bag them up, and then put them in an envelope and that. And I thought, God, this guy's getting a lot of cards for like not a lot of money. So I thought the Black Friday deal went really, really well. You guys seem to really take to it. But I don't want my social medias. I'm crossing over now from a hobby to obviously a business, and I don't really want to. I don't know. I want to try and tread a careful line of, like, I don't want it to just be all business, business, business. You know what I mean? Like, I still enjoy this, and I still like seeing your guys. When you guys, I want to see more content of you guys opening packs. When people open F1 cards and they go, "Oh, I've just got this box," I'm straight away, I'm commenting like, "Can you post the hits? I want to see what you get." because I'm excited. You know, like I want to see what you guys get, and I want to see your cards, your collections, how you do your binders. I want to see your slabs. I want to see how you organize your slabs. Yeah, so like I want all that. I want that sort of conversation to go on in the Facebook group, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I don't want it to just be all like sell, business, business, purchase, purchase. You know, I don't want to plaster it too much. And I felt really bad, like when I did that post Sunday saying, "Oh, hey guys, it's the last 3 hours left of the sale." I was like, oh, I feel a bit cringeworthy doing this. But then, as soon as I put that post up, 3 people bought, you know, like that. So it shows that prompting people does help and it makes money. But I just don't. I don't want to do that. I don't. I don't know. I don't want to just keep plastering stuff about the website all the time. I can't wait for the new products to come out because then I can just do videos going, "Hey guys, today we're opening up this box," and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like that's where I want to be. Kevin said, "I sometimes try my luck on Sports Trading Cards UK. They was a box of flagship on there the other day, but felt pointless getting it as I have completed the set. Will they be the same price on Top's website next week? I don't know. I actually don't know. They Tops don't tell anyone what they're gonna put their products up for. I think until the day of release and they see how much stock they've got left. I think the more stock they have left, the cheaper they put it on. Do you still collect Pokemon? Yes, me and my son Strife. We only need a few more cards, and they're all reverse hollows of Pokemon Go set. We haven't started the new set yet, but that's something that me and him are doing. I also started collecting the Mario card set, and I really want to get the limited editions, but you need to go to the Panini website in the UK. See, this is what I mean. Like, oh, this is why it's so frustrating. If there was a Mario card website, I would go to that and just purchase the cards we need or the limited editions. But the only place you can get them in the UK is news agents like corner shops, and they've packed them all away now. They only have them on for like a month and then they go away, and I don't think they sold very well. But the limited editions of the Mario cards look really good, and anyway, that's so we're collecting that as well. Aston said, "Eye opening this, Glenn. Shame the Yanks get first dibs. Didn't realise how forgotten the UK is in this hobby." I don't think the UK's forgotten. I just think that I think there is a big demand, and I think the supply that the Americans are giving us now is going up and up and up. If you look at Chrome 2020 and Sapphire 2020, the UK hardly got any. That's why the price just went through the roof. 2021, obviously, we got more, and now it seems like 2022 they're giving us more. So it's not that we're forgotten, it's just that Topps' bread and butter will always be their American market. That's their, you know, that's where they earn their 1.2 millions, you know, like when they're selling all these boxes in one hit. And then obviously you got us in the UK until Topps start doing it, so you have to have an account with them and you go through them direct. Until that happens, then I would imagine there'll be a unity across the world of how much products are, and then there'll be no competition. So it'll just be, if it's $160, it'll be roughly £150 in our money. So it's going to be there or thereabouts. So everyone will be like, oh, you might as well just buy them from Topps UK. And I would love it if there's enough, you know, supply. I would love for that to happen. I would love to be able to buy a product just like that, stress free. You know. Totally agree with you, Glenn. Said David. Jack says love it. Hi Jack, hope you're doing well, mate. Love you. Kevin says, do you still have flagship boxes for sale? I do, Kevin. I think off the top of my head, I think I've got, I'm gonna say 2 left for pre-order. It might be 1. I've had quite a few people pre-order the flagships boxes. Yeah, I can't remember. They are on there though. You can still purchase them. They are due to come out The street date for them is December the 2nd. As of recording this video, it is December the 20... November the 28th. So we've got 29th, 30th. Is there 31 days in this month? I don't think there is. And then you got the 1st and 2nd. So you're talking about 4 or 5 days that should be released. Do you know how many cards and packs are in each box? I do, Kevin. I know that off by heart. In a case, there is 12 boxes. In a box, there are 20 packs. And in a pack, there's 8 cards. In those 8 cards, one of them is the checkered flag card. The other 7 are a mixture of base, inserts, or parallels. I believe there is 4 parallels per box off the top of my head. Don't hold that against me. The odds of pulling a relic, so one of those cards with the little bit of race-worn uniform sort of stitched into it, is 1 in every other box. So if you purchase 2 or 3 boxes, you should, in theory, pull sort of at least 1 relic. But don't hold that against me. Obviously, I don't control the odds and all of that. I'm literally going to be opening up the case, packaging the boxes and sending them straight out. So whatever you receive is just whatever order I picked the box at. I'm not going to weigh them or anything like that. No funny games. I'm literally going to get them out as soon as humanly possible. So yeah, as soon as the day I receive them, they will be bubble wrapped, reboxed like into one of my boxes and posted out that day. So you guys get it ASAP. And what I want to build on is that going forward, if I keep providing a really quick, good service that customers like Kevin and David and Jack, Jack's not a customer. Jack would just rinse me for everything I've got. Hopefully you'll come back to me again for the next set for Chrome, for the next set for F1 Dynasty, for the next set Sapphire, for the next set Lights Out, and you keep coming back and back, and I can build on this website. I'm going to have every single card almost day one. I'm going to try and open enough boxes so that I have complete set spare. So that I've got to complete a set myself, obviously. But then I'm going to obviously get enough cards so I can list all the cards individually on my website. If I open up enough product and I complete several sets, I will be putting complete sets under the complete set section, probably for around 200 to 225 a set, because this year's one is a lot more cards than last year. Last year's one was 175 cards. This year's base set is 200. Plus you got all the inserts. I'm not sure how many inserts there are, but I believe it's going to be enough 50. So there's going to be like 250 cards in this set, maybe more. And that's without the relics and stuff. I was going to buy a Gasly relic on eBay the other day, but the shipping from America was pretty... Yes, Kevin, thank you. Yes. He's got it. I'm glad Kevin gets it. So you buy stuff from America and it appears cheap at first. And at eBay especially, you have to be really careful. A sort of a short story. I remember when I first realised that you could create a American eBay with a USA address, but then get them delivered to the UK. But the mistake I made was I bought a card that was something like $3, which I thought, oh my God, that's like £2 in my money. But then they charged sales tax, shipping on top. So I remember it was a Kimi Räikkönen card. I think it was a Sapphire Kimi Räikkönen card. And I ended up paying like £35 for it. And I was like, because I didn't realise, I just clicked the buy now button and I just went through and clicked buy now and I weren't looking. I think I did Face ID, so it just authorised the payment. And then when it came out of my bank, I was like, I was like, is that £3.50 or was that? And then I looked, I thought, oh no, it's £35. And I thought, oh geez, like that's a lot. Like, you know, by the time you add in delivery and everything like that. So you know, if there is, say if eBay had a card that was $10, but by the time you paid delivery, customs charges, sales tax in America, blah blah blah, by the time it actually got in your hand, you've spent $50, which is about 40 to £45 in our money. If a website in the UK was selling it for $39.99 and somebody goes, yeah, but hang on a minute, you could buy it on eBay for a tenner, for $10. Do you see what I mean? Like that's the direct comparison of what I'm talking about with these boxes, is that people are comparing. Kevin said the actual relic itself was like £30, but then the shipping was almost 40. I mean, I still don't think that's particularly bad deal, but I can't justify paying the same amount as delivery, etc. Yeah, exactly. So Kevin, that card would have cost you £70. So if I pulled that card from exactly, if I open that box up, a box of flagship 2021, and I have that Pierre Gasly relic, and I put it on my website for $49.99, one of these trolls in these groups will say, oh look, Glenn's selling, he's showing his true colours. He's selling this Pierre Gasly relic for $49.99 when you could buy it on eBay for $30 or whatever. He's a rip-off, he's a scammer. But then, like you've just said, by the time you include all these costs and fees, you're like, oh yeah, actually, that's going to cost me 70. Glenn's one's $49.99. So actually, I'm £20 better off buying Glenn's one. I understand that, you know, it's a bit confusing sometimes because not a lot of people take into account sales tax, VAT, delivery, customs charges. There's different rules for different countries. A lot of people don't take them into account. So I do get it. I honestly do get it. But that's where I'm trying to be the, you know, honest and transparent person and saying, yeah, look, this is why. This is why I'm charging this. This is why, you know, this costs this much. And I hope that obviously the F1 card community believe me and accept what I'm saying. They can question me on it and they can say, well, hang on a minute, Glenn. One of you have already commented saying, oh, I found a website that's doing it for this. Great. I've never heard of that website, or I've never bought from that website, so I don't know. Is there any delivery charges? Is there a handling fee? Is there VAT to pay? Are they trusted? Are they actually going to deliver on the product? I don't know. You know, I know myself, and I can prove to anyone that I've got an official account with Tops. I'm registered as a limited company within the UK. I'm currently in the process of paying my accountant about £1,000 to do my confirmation statement for the limited company, which all limited companies need to do once a year in the UK. So that's a cost that's nothing to do, well, it is to do with F1 cards because it's part of the limited company. But do you see what I mean? Like, you don't see that cost in my website hidden in the, you know, when I'm charging £1.25 a card or whatever, you don't see, oh yeah, he's got £1,000 bill to pay this month for something that's nothing to do with buying F1 cards. You know, there's a lot of fees associated with a limited company in the UK. And a lot of these Facebook people and eBay sellers obviously are just doing it not registered as a company. They've got no responsibilities in that respect. They haven't got to pay tax on a lot of the stuff they're selling. They haven't got to worry about profit and loss. So there's a lot of factors. The thing is, obviously there's about 10 of you watching this, jumping in and out. You 10 might be like, yeah, okay, I accept what Glenn's saying. I believe what he's saying. And I sort of understand now why he's charging what he's charging. But then the next 10 people that come along go, why is he charging that for that? You know, and then I'll have to do it all again. I have to explain it all over again. So at some point, there has to come a point where you stand there and you're strong and you say, that's my prices. If you don't like it, buy from somewhere else. And you will alienate those people. Those people will go, why is he so rude and abrupt? And do you know what I mean? Like, they'll say, why is he being like that? But there's otherwise I just basically have to do this video once a month, once every couple of months, saying, hey guys, this is why I'm charging this much for Sapphire, this is why I'm charging this much for F1 Dynasty. Do you know what I mean? Like it's quite tiresome, I suppose, and repetitive. And I don't mind doing it because, as you guys might gather, I like talking. So I don't mind talking about the hobby at all, although my voice is going. Kevin said, yeah, I always filter the postage from cheapest to expensive, like it was the same in Australia. A family member had a box, though, there for me shipping $50. If you guys watch my channel regularly, you'll know that obviously I do a podcast with Matthew. He's the F1, the Aussie F1 collector on Instagram. He messaged me and said, hi, Glenn, just thought I'd let you know that there's a store in Australia called Cherry Collectibles. You guys can look this up if you like. And he said they're selling flagship. I think it was either flagship or chrome. It might be chrome light. He said they're selling it for, I think it was flagship actually, for 200. No, sorry, chrome. Sorry. Chrome light. He said they're selling it for 200 and I can't remember, 50 US Australian dollars, which is AUD. AUD is like 2 for every 1, so it's like it's half. Its value is half in UK money. So that means that they're selling them for about £125 a box. And he messaged me and he said they're offering free worldwide shipping. So I said, oh my God, that is cheap. That's cheaper than the American websites. How are Australia getting that? So I went on there and I went to buy one. So I went to Cherry's Collectibles, their website, and I went to buy one of their boxes. And he was right, 250 AUD. Went through, typed in my name, typed in my address, and then it had one of those bot things where it calculates the postage and the customs charges for you. By the time we did that, it came to £190, whatever their AUD version of that is. And I took a screenshot of it and I sent it to Matt and I said, yep, it's about the same prices as what I'm charging. And he went, oh, sorry, I didn't realise. And I said, no, that's all right. Like, he said, oh, I just thought I'd let you know, you know. And I said, no, that's cool. I said, like, a lot of people don't realise, you know, in the UK, you have to pay 20% customs charges. And a lot of people saying, use the ship my cards method. Obviously, I agree with it. I use ship my cards, so I'm not knocking anyone for using that. But what they're basically saying is, don't buy from Glenn in the UK. Just avoid the taxes buying it from America. That's essentially what they're saying. Unfortunately, because I'm registered as a limited company and as a representative of a reseller of tops, I can't avoid import charges. I can't avoid delivery charges, and I have to sell them at whatever tops sell them to me at. So that's where I'm at. So then it comes down to either buy from me or don't. And I am going to have to do that at some point. And I see now why businesses and people on social media do eventually take that stance. I didn't want to do that straight off the bat. I wanted to sort of explain and educate why hopefully that sheds a bit of light on what's going on, how it happens, what happens within the hobby, how the market goes. I say these flagship boxes, I've spent about £4,000 on them. So I'm hoping to recoup some of that cost back. Otherwise, I've lost the money on it. I think I am going to lose money on flagship in total overall. But that's because, in theory, what I should have done is I should have put them up for like £180 a box, because then I'd make £20 per box, and I should have put them all up for pre-order and hope that I sold them all before they arrived. Then that way I'm guaranteed. And that's why a lot of these American websites do it, because they're guaranteed. You're selling something that isn't even out yet. You're going to use that money to place the pre-order. So like when you guys give me, I already made my order with tops before I've spoken to you guys. But imagine if a new set of Sapphire comes out and people are messaging me and they're saying, "Hey Glenn, can I put a pre-order in for Sapphire?" And I say, "Well, yeah, I haven't put my order in with Topps yet because there isn't an official announce date." And people say, "Yeah, but I just want it. I just want it." Okay, all right. Well, transfer me 250, and say 10 people do that. So I receive 2,500. When Topps go, "Glenn, do you want to pre-order a case of Sapphire?" I can go, "Yeah, okay. How much is it?" 2,500. Yeah, there you go. Because I'm not even using my own money. I'm using other people's money. You know, so that I understand why American websites do that, and especially when you're doing more than one sport. You got to think that they're doing basketball, baseball, and they're all doing 20, 30 cases of each sport. There must be like 30, 40 different releases a month. And you either have to have some sort of credit facility of over £1 million to keep up with that, or you put them up for pre-order and get people to pay for them before they come out. So I'm understanding the business. I'm understanding the business model of it, and I've tried to do a very small bit of it, but obviously in the UK. So, but like I say, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, flagship comes out, I deliver it to everyone, then everyone puts up a nice post about me saying, "Oh, would definitely recommend Hammonds Hobbies, really recommend Glenn, great seller, product came in really good condition." That's what I'm hoping. And then everyone's happy, and the amount of good comments will outweigh the trolls, and I can continue to grow the business that way going forward. And hopefully you guys are going to join me on that journey. Kevin said, "When will Sapphire be out?" I don't know. There's no announcement for Sapphire. Are you going to Silverstone next year? Hopefully we can get the same exclusives again. I don't know if I'm going to go to Silverstone. I would love to. If anyone wants to buy me a ticket, you're more than welcome. But I am going to go to Vegas. I'm going to save the money up and go Vegas. Even if I can't get a grandstand seat, I'm going to stay in one of the Vegas hotels that weekend and sort of be there for it, sort of thing. I'm in a couple of the Facebook groups where they resell F1 tickets. I'm hoping someone's going to sell paddock passes and stuff like that, and I can snap them up. And then what I would love to do is to get those passes graded after, because that'll be like the first time I've gone to an American Grand Prix, and I can just keep them hung up somewhere on display. I'd love to go to Singapore. That's another race I'd really love to go to. But yeah, anyway, we can discuss that. If you guys have any ideas of videos that you would like me to do, I'm going to be recording a few YouTube videos over the next few days. Obviously, there's no new set out, so there's no product for me to open. So what do I do videos about? So I've actually got a few binders that I want to show off, and I want to talk a bit more about collecting drivers rather than whole sets. So I'm going to be showing off what I've started to do. So there are a couple of videos. I also have been working with, I don't want to spoil it just yet, but I've been working with this graphic designer, and I've said to him, "Look, I want you to design F1 cards that look like this." Like this is a good question. What F1 cards would you love to see from another sport? Like, to give you an example, in America, they have basketball and they have the kaboom cards, like where it's big graffiti writing saying kaboom, and it's normally people dunking a basketball. Can you imagine? I'm not saying an F1, but what cards would you like to see? There's loads that are renowned in America. You've got the Flawless collection, you've got the Color Splash, you've got the, like I say, the kaboom cards, Prism. What type of cards would you love to see, but in F1? That's another video I'm going to do. And then I wanted to go back and do like what my favorite images are from 2020 and 2021. So these are all ideas that I have in my head of content that I'm going to make. But if you guys ever want me to do content, comment below, give me an idea, and I'll probably do a video about it. One, answering your question, but then two, obviously, hopefully providing entertainment. Can you get parallels from normal single packs? Dan, are you asking me about Flagship? Flagship 2022 or 2021? You can get parallel. If you're talking about turbo attacks, yes, you can get parallels just from normal packs. If you're talking about Flagship, then yes, you can. You can get parallels from any packs. IRS said, lads, trip to Vegas, you say. Ian, you're more than welcome, mate. Vegas, 2022. No, we're in 2022 now. 2023. It's the Vegas Grand Prix. The only trouble is, obviously, they've jacked the prices up, haven't they? Like, it's like mega money to go over there that weekend. I was looking at the sort of paddock passes. Normally, paddock passes are like £3,000 for like the weekend, £4,000. That's where you can get in and actually get autographs with the drivers and everything like that. But for the Vegas Grand Prix, it's like the cheapest one was like $25,000 or something like that. It was like ridiculous money, like absolutely mental. So, yeah, I don't know. I might just go out there just to have a fun weekend and hopefully catch some of the F1. But what I would love to do, if I know Matt does this, I don't know what the best Grand Prix is. I need to do a bit of research. I would love to just go and autograph hunt, just get the driver's autograph on F1 cards and then get them authenticated by PSA. I would love to do that. I would love to just make a binder up somehow so they can just sign it really quickly, like a load of them. But I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it. And I also don't know what Grand Prix to go to, because if you go to the ones that you initially think of, Silverstone, like Vegas, they're all going to be rammed. The security is going to be really high. So really, you want to go to a Grand Prix that's not as populated, if you know what I mean, like, and then go for the whole weekend to try and get there for the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then, like, I don't know, just go around chasing all their autographs. Not on the calendar next year, but the French Grand Prix, we're letting everybody into the paddock. Yeah, I know there was a Grand Prix because I remember watching Ted Kravitz, and he said on the Notebook, he said, if you ever want to get into the paddock, come to this Grand Prix. And I can't remember what one it was, what he said. He said because they just allow people to go in and out of it. After the racing on the Saturday and Friday. Yeah, mate, if I was in the paddock, and I was thinking I'd probably get just as excited about seeing Ted Kravitz and Martin Brundle as I would any of the racers, really. But obviously, I've almost given up on my dream of one day pulling a Lewis Hamilton autograph card. So I might just have to create my own dream and just get a Lewis Hamilton card that Lewis Hamilton signs. And I try not to worry about it, like panic or anything too much about it, because eventually Lewis Hamilton's going to retire. And at some point he's going to be at some sort of convention or event, even if he's old. Unless he dies, then I think there's always a chance to get an autograph from one of the drivers. Yeah, it was Paul Ricard. Well, if that is true, then Kevin, I will go to the French Grand Prix next year if it's on, because I really, really want to get a load of the drivers' autographs. So yeah, if I take a binder with me, like, and go to a few Grand Prix next year, then I'll see how many I can get. Obviously, that would be good content for you guys as well. And I was thinking, I'd love to actually speak to the drivers and go, right, here you go, open this pack, and like give them a pack of Flagship or something and say, right, you have to pull your own card or something like that, and like just do a TikTok video about it and see if they actually open a pack. And if they like pull themselves, they have to sign it, and then I'll just give it away to one of you guys or something like that. I thought that'd be really good, like fun content to chase and to do. So that's another idea. I've got loads of ideas in my head of content I want to do, as well as obviously as well as I'm trying to learn YouTube. Like I'm looking at the minute into like cameras, lenses. Obviously, I want to change my background because it looks a bit tatty. So I've got that going on, as well as I'm also trying to learn how to develop and run my own website and my own business and do the accounts and create an account with Tops and, all these different, like, oh, but they sell it for this much in America. And I'm trying to learn so much all at the same time. So yeah, obviously I am going to make mistakes at some point, at somewhere, somehow, because I'm not a master of all trades. But you know, so far I think I've done pretty well. That's my own opinion. I was on the Channel 4 pre-show qualifying at Silverstone this year. It was Billy Monger and Lee Mackenzie, and I was just standing in the background on my phone to my mum. Well, Kevin, if you want to go to a Grand Prix with me this year, honestly, mate, let me know and I'll gladly come with you. Let me know what ones you're going to. If any of you want to meet up, I tell you where I will be. So, Sports Cards Direct, one of the largest sports cards websites in the UK, they are going to be organising an event called CardCon, and they're saying it's going to be the largest sports card convention in Europe. So that's a big, bold claim. I know there isn't probably that much competition, but it's still going to be big. The London Card Show is pretty good. Harry and his team there do a really good job of organising that. But he's saying that this is going to be a lot bigger. So I don't know if they are competing with each other now. But I'll be going to that in January and I'll be recording content of that. Can't remember where it is, but just look up CardCon on Google and you can view where it is and how much tickets are. It's going to be in an airport hangar, an air carrier hangar. So it's massive. So hopefully there's going to be a load of F1 cards there, and especially it being January, hopefully with the F1 being off, so it's an off season, and also obviously everything seems to be going down at the minute that's non-essential. Hopefully January is going to be like the bottom of the market. Like that's going to be, normally people start scrimping and scraping in January to recoup from Christmas. So I'm hoping January is going to be like the bottom of the market. And if I can pick up some nice cards then, I feel that that's a good shout. But I don't know. We might go into 2 more years of recession yet, they're saying on the news. So I could completely be wrong. But that's why I always say buy cards that you love, not as investments. If you're looking to invest, that's really tricky at the minute. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to advise someone to go about that. But as I'm sure all of you, I like F1 cards. I like collecting them. I like storing them. I like completing sets. I haven't got too many more cards to get. The main cards that I'm after are Sapphire. Sapphire 2020 and Sapphire 2021. They seem to be the hardest ones for me to come across. And when I say, I'm not talking about just the normal bog standard one, I'm talking about the Lewis Hammonds, the Max Verstappens. They're the ones that I'm struggling to get hold of. So, yeah, if any of you out there have Sapphire cards that you want to trade or sell me, please get in touch. I have put on my website, if you go just on the homepage and you scroll down, there is actually a section where I've put cards that I want to trade. So like I've put a whole spreadsheet up. This is how geeky I am. I've put a whole spreadsheet up of cards that I'm after, that I want. I've put it in yellow if I need it or not. So if you have any of those cards, please get in touch with me. I just bought Dan Tictum Gold Ray Wave Refractor because he was the gold Ray Waves weren't in the boxes. You got a redemption card and people have only just started to get them back. And someone reached out to me and they said, Glenn, we know you're after gold Ray Wave autographs. I've got Dan Tictum's back from redemption. And I knew that was one of the ones that people are struggling to get back. So I was like, yes, I'll have it. So I bought that off him the other day. But yeah, so if you've got any, have a look at that spreadsheet. I've put on there the flagships that I'm after and the chromes that I'm after, and I think I've put the sapphires that I want, but also all the refractors that I'm after as well. So that's it from me, guys. I've been talking for an hour and a half exactly now. I hope you've liked that insight into what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and why. I hope that it makes sense. At the end of the day, you have to worry about your own pocket. If you've found some website that is doing it a lot cheaper, or you think you can avoid the import charges or the delivery charges, if you can find some way of getting them cheaper, one, do that. Two, let me know. Let me know how you're getting them, because then I might buy them that way as well. But, you know, if you can get them cheaper, then do what you've got to do. The only thing I can say is that I know exactly what I'm doing and where I'm heading with this, and I'm not going to let anyone down on these orders that I've got unless Tops mess me about, or unless the courier loses them somehow and I'm not insured or covered or something like that. They're really my only main points of fault that I can foresee happening. So hopefully you guys can feel reassured that you're in good hands going forward, and you will hopefully have good experiences buying from myself and from the website. But that's it from me. I'll leave you guys to it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.